He was once full of life. A strong and happy German shepherd, running through open fields, chasing butterflies, playing with his favorite toy. His world was full of joy. A flashback scene plays, a young boy throws a frisbee, the German shepherd jumps high to catch it. He lands perfectly and runs back to his owner, wagging his tail. His owner, a little boy, loved him more than anything. They were best friends, always together, always smiling. The dog and boy run through the grass, the sun setting behind them. Laughter fills the air. The dog barks happily. But happiness does not last forever. Flashback fades to black. A distant car engine roars. One day, everything changed. The German shepherd runs across the yard, excited. He does not see the open gate, he does not see the speeding car. Suddenly, tires screech, a loud thud. The world stops. A heartbeat sound echoes. The screen stays dark for a moment. The dog lies on the road, his body still. His legs do not move. His breathing is weak. His eyes are full of fear. The boy runs to him, tears streaming down his face. "Wake up, buddy! Please wake up!" The German shepherd whimpers softly, but his back legs remain still. People gather around. Someone calls for help. The boy keeps holding his dog, begging him to stand. But he cannot. The sirens wail in the distance. Everything fades away. A harsh white light flickers. The sound of barking dogs fills the air. The camera focuses on a small, cold cage. The German shepherd lies on a metal floor, alone. His once strong legs are now lifeless. His tail does not wag anymore. This is his new home, a shelter, a place where forgotten dogs wait for someone to love them. He does not understand why he is here. Where is his boy? Where is his family? The camera zooms in on his sad, tired eyes. People walk past his cage. Some stop to look, but when they see his legs, they shake their heads and move on. Nobody wants a broken dog. Days pass. The dog barely eats. He barely moves. His eyes stare at the door, hoping his owner will come back for him, but no one does. Outside, life goes on. Inside, he is trapped in a world of loneliness. One last close-up of his face, lost, empty, hopeless. Days turn into weeks. The world outside moves on, but inside this cold cage, time stands still. The shelter worker walks past his cage, pausing for a moment. Poor boy. No one will take him. The German shepherd does not react. He has stopped hoping. Suddenly, a soft, kind voice is heard. "Who is this one?" A rescuer stands in front of the cage, their eyes filled with sadness. The shelter worker sighs. "This one? He is paralyzed. No one wants him." The rescuer kneels, looking closely at the dog. "Hey, buddy." The German shepherd slowly lifts his head. His eyes meet the rescuer's. For the first time in weeks, someone looks at him with kindness. The rescuer carefully reaches through the bars, offering their hand. The dog hesitates, then weakly he licks their fingers. At that moment, the rescuer knows they cannot leave him here. "I want him." The shelter worker looks surprised. "Are you sure?" "He will need a lot of care." The rescuer nods. "Yes, I am sure." The paperwork is signed. The cage door opens, but the German shepherd does not move. The rescuer gently picks him up. The dog does not resist. He is too weak. As they carry him outside, a soft breeze touches his fur. For the first time in a long time, he feels the sun again. The car door closes. The rescuer places the German shepherd on a soft blanket in the back seat. "You are safe now, buddy." "I promise." The car starts moving. The dog watches the world pass by through the window. His eyes are tired but curious. The rescuer reaches back and gently pets his head. "We will figure this out. Together." The dog blinks slowly as if he understands. The German shepherd now has a home, but deep inside he is still lost. Soft morning light fills the room. The dog lies on a soft bed, his eyes barely open. The rescuer kneels beside him, stroking his fur. "This is your new home, buddy. You are safe now." The dog does not react. He stares blankly at the floor. Days pass. The rescuer brings food, water, and warm blankets, but the dog barely moves. He eats only when necessary. His tail never wags. The rescuer watches him, concern in their eyes. "I know you have been through so much, but I need you to fight." The dog blinks slowly, but his body remains still. One day, the rescuer kneels beside him with a special harness in hand. "We're going to try something today, just you and me." The dog looks up, but does not understand. The rescuer carefully places the harness around his body, lifting him gently. The dog's front legs touch the ground, but his back legs remain still. The rescuer holds him up, supporting his weight. "Come on, buddy, just try." The dog's ears twitch. He stares at the floor. Seconds pass. Nothing. He sighs and lowers his head. The rescuer does not give up. Every day, they repeat the process. Some days, the dog whimpers in frustration. Other days, he refuses to try at all. The rescuer kneels beside him, voice gentle but firm. "I know it is hard, but I will not let you give up." The dog's eyes flicker with something, a small, broken spark. One morning, the rescuer gently lifts him again. This time, something is different. The dog's front paw twitches. The rescuer's breath catches. "That is it. Come on, buddy." The dog hesitates. Then, slowly, he moves his front paw forward. The rescuer gasps. "You are doing it." The dog stops, unsure. "One more step, buddy. Just one more." The dog hesitates, then moves his paw again. His body shakes, but he does not fall. The rescuer's eyes fill with tears. "You are incredible." The sun rises over the small house. Birds chirp outside. Inside, the German shepherd rests on his soft bed, his eyes half open. He is tired, but something is different today. He is not just lying there, he is thinking, watching, waiting. The rescuer enters the room, smiling. "Good morning, buddy. Ready for another try?" The dog does not move at first. Then, slowly, he lifts his head. His ears twitch slightly. The rescuer kneels beside him, gently stroking his fur. "I saw you try yesterday. You did great. Today, we will do even better." The dog lets out a slow breath. He is still weak, but for the first time, his eyes show something new. Determination. The rescuer carefully lifts the dog with the support harness. His front legs press against the ground. His back legs remain still, but today the rescuer notices something, a tiny movement, barely there. The rescuer's voice is full of encouragement. "Come on, buddy, I know you can do this." The dog hesitates. His muscles tremble. He lets out a small whimper. "It is okay. I am here. Just one more step." The dog takes a deep breath. Then, with all his strength, he pushes forward. His front paws move, his back legs drag slightly, but he does not fall. He stays up. The rescuer's eyes widen. "That is it. That is my boy." The dog stops. He is exhausted, breathing heavily, but there is something in his eyes. Pride. He did it. The rescuer kneels, pressing their forehead against the dog's. "I knew you could do it. We are going to get you back on your feet, I promise." The days turn into weeks. Every day, the rescuer helps him practice. Some days, the dog moves easily. Other days, he collapses, too weak to try. One day, he whimpers in frustration, turning his head away. The rescuer sighs, rubbing his ears. "I know it is hard, but we do not quit, okay? We fight." The dog looks up at them. Something in their voice calms him. He blinks slowly, then nudges their hand with his nose. The rescuer smiles. "That is my boy." One afternoon, the rescuer takes him outside. The fresh air ruffles his fur. He closes his eyes, enjoying the warmth of the sun. "All right, buddy, let us show the world what you can do." The rescuer places him in the grass, holding the harness. The dog stares ahead, paws pressed into the earth. A deep breath, a moment of silence. Then he moves. One step, then another. His back legs are still weak, but they tremble less. He is walking. The rescuer laughs, their voice shaking with emotion. "Look at you! You are doing it!" The dog takes another step, then another. He stumbles slightly but keeps going. A soft breeze blows past him, ruffling his fur. His tail wags just a little, the first time in a long time. The rescuer's voice is full of love. "I am so proud of you." The camera zooms in on the dog's eyes. They are no longer empty, they are alive, hopeful. The sun is setting, casting a golden glow over the small backyard. The German Shepherd sits on a soft blanket, his ears perked up slightly. His progress has been slow, but today, something feels different. The rescuer kneels beside him, holding the special harness that has helped him take every step so far. Rescuer, softly, encouragingly. "All right, buddy. We have been working so hard for this moment. I know you are ready." The dog looks up at them, his deep brown eyes filled with a mix of exhaustion and determination. The rescuer gently straps the harness around him, then lifts him carefully. His front paws press into the ground first, steady as always. His back legs tremble, but today they do not collapse. A small gust of wind brushes through his fur. The dog takes a deep breath. Rescuer, excitedly but softly. "Come on, boy, just like before, one step at a time." The dog hesitates, his muscles tighten. Then he moves. One step, then another. His back legs struggle, but they do not fail him. The rescuer gasps, their voice filled with pure emotion. "That is keep going." The dog pauses, panting heavily. His body shakes, but his eyes are focused. He is not giving up. Not this time. He pushes forward again. Step, step, step. Suddenly, his back legs fully support him. For the first time since his accident, he is standing on his own. The rescuer's eyes well up with tears. They cannot believe it. "Oh my God, you're doing it, buddy. You're standing." The German Shepherd lets out a small huff. His tail twitches. Then it wags. The rescuer kneels in front of him, their arms open. "Come to me, boy. I know you can do it." The dog stares at them, his ears twitching. He takes a deep breath. Then, with all his strength, he moves. His steps are slow at first, but then he starts walking faster, stronger. The rescuer watches in disbelief as the German Shepherd picks up speed. His paws press into the soft grass, his muscles pushing harder than ever before. Suddenly he breaks into a run. It is not perfect, but it is real. The rescuer claps their hands together, overwhelmed with joy. "Yes, that is my boy!" The dog keeps going, his tail wagging furiously. He barks for the first time in a long time, a happy, free bark. He stops a few feet away, turning back to look at the rescuer. His chest rises and falls quickly, but his eyes are bright. He knows what he just did. The rescuer wipes away a tear and whispers, "I told you, we would do this together." The sun is now almost gone, the sky painted in soft shades of orange and purple. The rescuer sits in the grass and the dog walks over, on his own. No harness, no support, just his own strength. He sits beside them, leaning into their side. The rescuer smiles, gently stroking his fur. "You are a miracle, buddy, and you are never going to be alone again." The dog lets out a happy sigh. For the first time in so long, he is home. He is loved, and he is whole again, and the morning sun shines brightly through the trees, birds chirp, and a gentle breeze moves through the grass. The German Shepherd stands at the doorway looking outside. This is the first time he is seeing the world on his own paws. The rescuer walks beside him, smiling. The dog looks up at them, his ears twitching. His body is still recovering, but his spirit is stronger than ever. The rescuer gently opens the door, and the German Shepherd takes his first unassisted step outside. No harness, no support, just him. His paws press into the cool grass. He stops for a moment, taking in the fresh air. Then slowly he takes another step, Then another. He is walking. The rescuer watches in awe, their eyes filled with pride. "Look at you. You did it." The dog turns his head, his tail wagging slightly. For the first time, his face looks happy, truly happy. For months, he had been trapped in pain, in fear, but now he is free. The rescuer kneels down, calling out to him. "Come here, buddy." The German shepherd pauses. Then with a sudden burst of energy, he runs to them, not walks, runs, no hesitation, no struggle, just pure joy. The rescuer laughs, catching him in a hug. "You are incredible. I am so proud of you." The dog licks their face, his tail wagging faster. He is full of life again. The next day, the rescuer loads the dog into the car. He sits in the back seat, ears perked, watching the world go by. "Rescuer," excitedly, "we are going somewhere special today." The dog tilts his head, curious. The car pulls up to a park. Families are walking with their dogs, kids are playing, and the air is filled with laughter. The German shepherd watches, his tail wagging slightly. The rescuer opens the door, and the dog carefully steps out. He stands tall, stronger than ever. A group of friendly dogs runs past, chasing a ball. The German shepherd watches, his ears perking up. The rescuer kneels beside him. "Go on, buddy. Have fun." The dog hesitates for a moment. Then slowly he takes a step forward, then another. Then he runs. He chases after the other dogs, barking happily. The rescuer watches, their eyes filled with happy tears. Rescuer, softly, whispering to themselves, "You are finally living the life you deserve." The German shepherd turns back for a second, locking eyes with the rescuer. His gaze is full of love, full of gratitude. Then he runs back to play. The sun sets behind the trees, casting a golden glow over the park. The German shepherd runs through the grass, his tongue hanging out, his tail wagging freely. He is not just surviving anymore, he is living. A young boy, about 8 years old, watches him from a distance. His mother stands beside him, smiling. "Mom, look at that dog, he's so fast." "Yes, sweetheart, and he has been through so much to get here." "Come here, buddy." The German shepherd stops playing and runs straight to them. He does not hesitate, he does not struggle, he just runs, strong, confident, and free. "I cannot believe how far you have come." The dog lets out a soft huff, leaning into them. The mother and her son walk closer, admiring the dog. "He's beautiful, and he looks so happy." The rescuer smiles, nodding. "He is a fighter. He has been through a lot, but he never gave up." The little boy reaches out his hand. "Hi, buddy. You are really strong." The German shepherd sniffs the boy's hand, then licks it. The boy giggles, petting the dog's head. The rescuer and the mother sit on a nearby bench, watching the dog and the boy play together. "Mother, you have done an amazing job with him. He is so full of life." The rescuer smiles, watching the German shepherd chase after a ball the boy throws. Rescuer, "He deserves every bit of happiness. He has fought harder than anyone I know." The mother pauses for a moment, then looks at the rescuer. "Mother," softly, hesitating, "would you ever consider letting him be adopted?" The rescuer's smile fades slightly. They look at the German shepherd, who is happily running in circles with the boy. They take a deep breath. Rescuer, "I never planned to give him up, but he looks really happy with your son." The mother nods. Mother, "He does. My son has always wanted a dog, and I can see that they already have a connection." The rescuer watches as the German shepherd gently nudges the boy, encouraging him to throw the ball again. The boy laughs, his eyes shining with joy. A lump forms in the rescuer's throat. They love this dog, but they know what is best for him. They take a deep breath, then look at the mother. Rescuer, softly with a sad smile. If he chooses your son, then yes, he deserves a real home. The rescuer kneels down and calls the dog over. Come here, buddy. The German shepherd stops playing and trots over, sitting in front of them. The rescuer gently strokes his fur. You have been so strong, buddy, and now you have a choice. The dog tilts his head slightly. The rescuer gestures toward the boy, who is standing nearby, watching nervously. Rescuer, softly. Do you want to go with him? The German shepherd looks at the rescuer, then back at the boy. He hesitates for a moment, then takes a step toward the rescuer. He presses his forehead against them, closing his eyes. The rescuer holds him tightly, whispering, I love you, buddy, and I always will. The dog pulls away, looks into the rescuer's eyes, then turns and walks straight to the boy. His tail wags, his ears perk up. He has made his choice. The boy gasps in excitement and kneels down, hugging the dog tightly. He picked me! He really picked me! The rescuer smiles, their eyes filling with tears. Yes, he did. The mother wipes away a tear and turns to the rescuer. Mother, thank you. We will take good care of him, I promise. The rescuer nods, swallowing the lump in their throat. That is all I could ever ask for. A few days later, the German shepherd sits in the back seat of the mother's car, looking out the window. His ears perk up with curiosity. The boy sits beside him, gently holding his paw. Boy, softly. Do not worry, buddy. You are going to love your new home. The car pulls up to a beautiful house with a big backyard. A brand new dog bed, toys, and food bowls sit on the porch, waiting for him. The boy opens the car door, and the German shepherd jumps out. He sniffs the air, his tail wagging. The boy runs toward the yard, calling out, Come on, buddy, let me show you your new home. The German shepherd looks back at the rescuer one last time. Their eyes meet. No words are needed. They understand. This is not goodbye. This is a new beginning. The rescuer smiles, whispering, Be happy, buddy. The German shepherd barks once, a joyful, free bark, then runs after his new best friend. His tail wags, his body strong and full of life.